All right. What's going on? David and Deborah here. Divine Destiny. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
You think we're going to keep calling it that? Divine Destiny?
What do you think?
Divine Destiny.
I like Divine Destiny.
You like it?
You know, we're a part of it. And it's not like, sometimes it could be like, I don't know.
Romanticized.
No, not romanticized, but it's not like when you hear Divine Destiny, you'll think of David and Deborah.
David and Deborah,
right? It's not David and Deborah Ministries. That's just not the name. And I feel like we do have a divine destiny. Like the Lord brought us together divinely. And so I guess this is your intro. So you're here in our family meeting planning,
family meeting.
They love the family meetings. The people love the family meetings. So again, my name is David Hill.
Yeah, I'm Deborah, y'all.
Is y'all your last name?
I'm Deborah, y'all. Hill.
Deborah Hill. Yeah. So yeah, I worked hard to bring you over to Team Hill. So like, put some respect on it. Thank you.
Ew.
Change your address and your last name. So God bless you. So David and Deborah here. To our day ones, we want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And to our new subbies, our new family, thank you all for being here. And we are so excited. We broke 5,000 subscribers.
Woo!
Give it up for yourselves. Give it up for yourselves. And again, it's not about the numbers, but it's an impact.
Indicator of growth.
Indicator of growth. And a greater weight of responsibility, because the more that number grows, and again, we're not into numbers, but it's a sign of growth. It's a sign of entrustment. It's stewardship. And the more people that say, hey, I'm clicking that subscribe channel, we feel the weight of responsibility.
Yeah.
And we go more before the Lord, because there's so much going on out there. There's so many content creators coming in the name of Christ. I saw a post that said there are people that are using the name of Jesus for content to make money.
That's true.
And that is foul.
Even outside of YouTube, influencers.
Influencers.
Content
we got
creators.
too many influencers and not enough ambassadors.
That's good.
And I didn't mean to.
Not even living right.
Not living right. So the weight of responsibility. There is 5,000 plus of you who've said, "Wow, it's something."
I'm gonna listen to them.
Yeah, you all have helped me, and things like that. And it is an honor and it is a privilege, and we're gonna do everything in our power to just uphold the standard that God has given us to live by. So we thank you all for subscribing. I don't know how you all have stumbled upon the videos. We love asking, hey, how did you find the video?
Yeah.
One person said, hey, I just typed in Amos 9:13 and the suddenly video, they just got on.
I'm so done. That's crazy.
And they came across the video. So we thank y'all have really showed out on the God said suddenly video. Like so crazy, and that was just encouragement as you step into the month of September. We know there's some testimonies because God said before September he was going to do it. Before September he's going to do it. So thank you all for being here. Again, we're celebrating breaking 5,000 subscribers. And we said, as we broke 5,000, there was a major announcement coming. Are you ready for the announcement? That's the drum roll. All right. We are launching a very own group mentorship. Woo! Pause for that. So mentorship will be live next month. And let me tell you this. There's going to be so much that's a part of it. Many of you have asked for this. And so we know we're in the YouTube community, right? But now let's take it a step further. Let's go deeper. Let's go into a more intimate place, in an intimate setting. And those who come into the mentorship, you're going to get some amazing things. It's going to have some amazing benefits and things like that. And so there's going to be more details to come. But next month, we are launching our very first mentorship, and this is going to be a group mentorship. And so stay tuned for details. More to come. Anything you want to say on that?
Nope.
It's going to be amazing, y'all. And so more details to come. Stay tuned. Let us know in the comments if that's something that you're interested in. And we want to hear from you. What things would you like in the mentorship? What topics, what things? Because again, as we always say, we're here for you. We're here to serve you. We're here to help you go forth. And as we've said before, there's power in mentorship. You know, when you connect with a mentor, your life catapults, your life goes to the next step, the next levels. And we're going to be pulling things out of you that are already there and you just need help in. So without further ado, again, thank you to our day ones. Thank you to our new family. Welcome. Again, my name is Dave, and this is my beautiful wife, Deborah.
Thanks.
Yeah. If this is your first time on our channel, we just want to share this before we get into what my beautiful wife is going to share about today. Just a quick thing that I want to share. I'm from Florida. She's from Texas. God gave me dreams about her 4 months before I met. And here we are, married, and just a whole story. So if you have not seen our video of how God brought us together, you need to go watch that.
Yeah,
you
definitely
need to go watch that.
It's blessed over 70,000 people, which is amazing.
We didn't know. We were
had
cool with
no idea.
We were cool with 10,000. If it was just 10,000, we would have been cool with that.
Yeah.
But 70,000 of you have saw that video.
That's
and
so
like,
crazy.
Wow, I'm encouraged. You know, my faith and hope in relationship and this promise that God gave me. You know, I just came into agreement with you all's video, and, you know, that's what it was about. I wanted God to bring us together so that we could be a testimony. Failed engagement, almost married the wrong, almost, you know, was in a relationship with the wrong person, but God, my God. So if you get a chance, you should go watch that video, how God brought me and my God-ordained partner together. So without further ado, today, we know that you all have been following us. So back in May, we lost our jobs suddenly. My God, we didn't even have time to process, dream, nothing. And so we've given you all an update before, but there's another update. Can you guess? And it's not a baby. Somebody's watching that right now and say, "Oh, it's our baby." No. So let's over to my dear wife. She's going to share some things, share the process, share what's going on. What has God said? What is done? What has happened? Like, what has happened, babe? Talk to the people.
Oh my gosh. So, really cool story. So, like, where do I even start? Like, okay.
So the last you all knew was, you know, she had gotten a job at a place really close, and Yesley was the woman's name, and y'all were in the comments like, Yesley, we come into agreement with Yesley. The Lord says yes. So
you said it in the video too,
I did.
though. But okay, so that was the last thing. So in the midst of that, I felt like that job wasn't all that God had for me. Mm-hmm. And I felt that there was more. And literally, I was starting the onboarding process. I started filling out the paperwork. I went out to get my drug test screening and all of those things. Literally that day, I got a call from a recruiter company that I had been working with, that was helping me get interviews, you know, to possibly get hired at a different company or anything like that. So they called me, and the young woman was like, hey, so and so company, this position just came open. They thought you'd be a great fit. Do you want to interview? They thought you'd be a great fit. But the thing is, there had to be a process on their end. The people that interviewed me had to push me in front of leadership, and they had to even get the okay to put me in front of them. So all that's happening. And in that day that I got that call from that recruiter company, I paused while I was on the phone and I said, yes, I am interested, because there was still something in me that had this, okay, I know there's more. That was nothing but the Holy Spirit. I know it was. And what's crazy is, y'all, get this. That same morning, I literally have a dream with one of my previous bosses in it. We still have a great relationship with him. He checks in on me and David, time.
Periodically.
Yeah, there we go. Periodically. Thank you. I was gonna say time after time,
Get out your flesh.
but periodically. And he was in my dream. And in that dream, I'm telling him, about the job that I had just gotten at the dealership and everything like that with the young woman, Yesley or whatever. And I'm expecting a different reaction in this dream. He looks at me and he was just like, Deb, he's like, you don't have to take the first thing that comes to you. And then my dream ended. And then I was just like, I woke up and I was just like, well, God, like, I knew it was God speaking to me because I know how God speaks to me. So I knew it was the Lord speaking to me. I was just like, Lord, like, there's nothing else in sight. At that point, I hadn't gotten the call yet from the recruiter company that day. I hadn't. They came later in the day after I had started the paperwork and the drug screening. So at that point, I woke up and I was like, then what am I supposed to do? Like, this is the only door that has been open thus far. And I had believed that, okay, this is the only door that has opened. I'm going to walk through it, and it's close to where we live. It had all of these things, but at the end of the day, I still had that small piece of me was like, I just feel like there's something more. So when later on that afternoon, that call came in from the recruiter company, that's when the light switch turned on and the Lord reminded me of that dream I literally had earlier. That I feel like I had it earlier that morning. And I had a split second decision to make whether I was going to say if I was interested or not. And I said, yes, I am interested. So I talked to, the woman that was helping me through the process, asking her, okay, because at this point I had already started the hiring process. So I was like, okay, like, what does this look like? Do I, keep going forward with the hiring process and then put in my 2 weeks when I start the other job? Like, what is, and at this point, it wasn't even, the job with the other company was not even secure, but I had the mindset as if I had already accepted the offer, or an offer was given to me. Even though that wasn't the case, they still had to decide. The other leadership team had to still decide, and all of them had to agree that this person is a good fit. And I hadn't been put in place or in front of them yet for an interview. I haven't started the interview process yet. So I took 24 hours to make a decision of what I was going to do. I called my parents. I got wise counsel from them. Of course, we talked about it first. Then I called my parents. I was on the phone with them.
I want to interject in that really quick.
Yeah.
So just to give context, you all know that we were out of work, right? And so at this time, rent was due again for the month of August. So it's like, Lord, how are we going to do it? So we were rejoicing in that, and we're like, all right, cool, we're starting a job. I'm sure we'll get one pay period to help pay the rent, or we're going to be out of here living on the streets and doing YouTube videos in the car. But God forbid. So that is what was happening. And so then at that time, as we're dialoguing about this, right, in real time, the Lord instantly reminded me of 2 years ago. I was living in Florida. No, I think I was here. I think it was here. But 2 years ago, Deborah was in a job process, search. This was right before we were getting married and things like that. And the Lord had given me a dream that she had a job opportunity, but it was the second job. It was the second job that she was supposed to pick. Not the first one, but the second one. And so as we're going throughout this process, that dream was from 2 years ago. Never saw it manifest, never saw it happen until we're literally here talking about things.
Actually, this was around, I think it did. I want to say that I think it did because that's when I started working for the nonprofit. Before I got the offer to go back to Tucker.
I think where was I? I'm trying to remember if I was at Miss Carlene's or was I in Florida?
I think you were in Florida.
Okay.
You were in Florida still because I was going to be a PA for somebody.
Okay.
But then this is before I started working for the nonprofit.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. So 2 years ago, I had that dream that it was supposed to be the second job. And so at that time, she's this same company, recruiting company that, is helping her. Now, I say there was like an intercessor. They was like literally going before her, standing in the gap. And it was, I believe it was like a relationship like never before. It was literally the favor of God. Like this woman,
she's so cool.
Super cool. Like it was crazy that, this happened 2 years ago. This lady comes back around and calls her randomly one day and said, "Hey, Deborah, I even remember what you wore. I remember you. You made such an impression.
I loved your outfit."
So crazy,
like,
so crazy how that happened. But let's go back to. I just want to put that in there. Like, there was pressure. You take that first job. We had needs. There was urgency, and like, even in that, saying, "All right, I started this process," and I mean, as we had a need financially, her heart was for the other person that was getting ready to get let go. And we'll get into that. And from there, God even ministered to me about that and what that looked like. And so you're talking to your parents. I was
talking to my parents. So I took, the next 24 hours to decide, because at that point, my background check and all of that was going to come through within 2 to 3 days. So I had a very short window to decide what I was going to do. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take time to pray. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Then, and the next day came. And by the end of the next day, I made the final decision. And I sent the email and said, I thank them for their time. I thank them for, the time that they spent, taking me through and starting the interview process and everything like that. And I discontinued the hiring process. And like he said, there were so many scenarios that I went through in my mind what that would look like to bring resolution to the decision that I was about to make. I thought about it from every angle. Like, okay, if I do start this job and I put in my 2 weeks, I thought about the young lady that was about to get let go. I didn't know if she had kids. I didn't know she had a family. I didn't know. And the fact that I knew I would be there temporarily, in my eyes, that was not fair. That wasn't fair to me. So I said, no, I'm not going to do that, because I don't know. I don't know if she has a baby or kids. I don't know. So, and I will not be the one to temporarily take someone's space knowing I'm leaving. That, in my eyes, that wasn't right to me. So I didn't want to take it. Even though we had immediate needs, I just knew, and I took it with wisdom, because it would be, from probably the world standpoint, it would seems logical, right? It's like, get, the money you can from that job before you start this one. But that one wasn't secure though. And that's where the dilemma was. That one was not even secure. So to step into that and then, start that one or possibly start that one, there were just so many variables in the situation that I had to take into account. And I thought of everyone. I wasn't just thinking about myself. I wasn't just thinking about the immediate need that we had. I knew we were going to be okay because God has provided for us up until this point every single time. Every single time.
It get close. I mean, the last moment, the last day, if you don't pay this rent today, you will be evicted. I mean, like
literally
just like
every time. And so I made the decision, and like I said, I had that dream, and that dream gave context, and I really truly believe that helped me to make the decision. Even though I had already felt it in my spirit, that dream really helped confirm and reaffirm what I had already been feeling the couple of days before I had that dream. So that really helped me make the decision. So I, discontinued the process and then started the interview process for the company that I will be working for now. And what's so awesome about this is that it's double the salary that I'll be making for my previous job.
Let's stop there. Y'all stop and praise break right there. Double. That's for somebody. When God takes something, restoration is not giving back what you lost. It's double. It's more. Like, I'm sorry. Keep going. So, again, what my wife just said, we lost a job. We both lost our jobs suddenly. She got a job back, trusted the Lord through the process, took a calculated risk. You know how crazy it is? All right, you got a job and you say, no, I can't take this job. We ain't in the space to just be choosing. Girl, we need to take whatever we can. But it's something on, where's faith? And through this whole process, the Lord was ministering Romans 10 and 11. And it says, I'm paraphrasing, those who trust in the Lord will not be disappointed. Those who trust in the Lord will not be put to shame. You know what that was crazy trust to say, I've been given a job opportunity. I'm turning it down to go through this job and through this process that's not even guaranteed. Y'all told her she was overqualified and gave the job that she needed to somebody else. And then it gets even crazier.
This is the detail I left out. This position was offered to someone else, and that person could not accept it all of a sudden for personal reasons. It's not for us or for me to know what those personal reasons are. I just knew when I heard those words, I said, God, that's you. He literally made room for me to work for that company.
He made room.
He made room for me to work for that company for a position I did not even apply for.
Didn't apply for. She was supposed to be an office manager, and they said she was overqualified. And then went and said, hey, how about this position? And then went with somebody else. And then called back and say, hey, that person we were going to give the job to that we really should have gave to you.
No, that's not how it happened. Yeah, that's not how it happened. So how it happened was while the group that interviewed me was in the process of seeing where, because the thing is they wanted to keep me. They just wanted to see where they wanted to place me because they knew I was overqualified for that first position. So what happened was that group, they were trying to see. And so there was this position that they thought was open, but the leadership team told them that was already offered to someone. So I couldn't start an interview process. It was already offered to someone. So the person that it was offered to, all of a sudden, she couldn't, or he, whoever it is, they couldn't take it for personal reasons. I don't know why. But when I heard that, I was like, God, you made room for me. So I'm literally playing all of these variables in my mind, I'm retaining all of this information, I'm getting all this intel, and at the same time, my spiritual eyes and my spiritual ears are open to seeing what the Holy Spirit is saying about this situation. Because I could have easily dismissed the process for that other one and taken the first opportunity. But like I said, that dream helped me to make my decision, and prayer. It's like I was on the phone with one of my friends yesterday, and I was telling her I knew in my spirit that was the job, though it hadn't manifested yet in the natural. I knew that was an open door that the Lord had given to me, but I had the decision to make if I was going to go through the process or not to get it. So it's like I was in the middle of, that thing being told to me by the Holy Spirit that was the opportunity, and it actually being made manifest. I had to get from point A to point B, and that was the process. And I had to make the decision, am I going to go through this process or not? And what's crazy is through this whole process, it's like what the Lord told me, it was so cool. Yesterday on the phone, I was talking to my friend. What the Lord told me was that a lot of the times we focus so much on the promise that we forget the little blessings along the way to get to the promise. And immediately, just like the children of Israel that were going through the desert, there were needs that were needed to be met, like them eating. God still provided the food for them, water, all of those things, which were the blessings along the way. And the posture of our heart in the process is what determines whether or not we get to the promise or whether we get that promise. So I believe that played a huge part in this process that the Lord brought me through. I had to decide to go through it, and I had to take on the right heart posture through that process and trusting, because God was testing my trust in him. And the moment I said with my mouth on this couch, and I said, okay, God, I trust you, and I made that decision, I believe the moment those words left my mouth, he was already working stuff in the background for me.
Yeah. What a crazy testimony. What a crazy process. And so, like,
salary part.
Okay. So double the salary just to start. Bomb.
Yep. So how that happened was the recruiter called me. And she said, okay, this is the X. If they offered you this X amount, would you take it? I said, would it be okay to go up just a little more? So she said, okay, I'll go ahead and call them back, see what they say.
No. She said, thank you for saying this. And she was like, yeah, that wouldn't be an issue. Like, she was like, yeah. Like, that,
and the recruiter was like, okay, I'll present this to him.
Went ahead.
Oh my gosh. Okay, babe. She went to them, and she was like, okay. She went to them. She said, hey, this is, are you guys willing to pay this much? And then she called me. She said, I'll call you back as soon as I hear back. She called me back like 5 minutes later. She's like, I know that was pretty quick. I was like, yeah. And she said, they're willing to pay you this X amount. They said they really believe that you're great for the position. They're willing to go to the bat for you. And I was like, oh my gosh, heck yeah. So then she said, you'll be hearing from the vice president. She'll be giving you a call and making you the offer verbally. They want to make you the offer verbally, not just through email. So I said, okay, cool. So about within an hour, I got the call from one of the vice presidents, and she gave me the offer. But y'all, the offer was more than what was agreed upon between me and the recruiter and what was communicated between the recruiter and the company of what was agreed they would pay me. I was like, wait, this is more than what was agreed upon on the phone with the recruiter. I was like, oh my gosh. So it's like God said, no, I'm going to add a little extra more to what you had faith to believe to get. I had the faith to believe to negotiate my salary just to get a little more. And the thing is, I wasn't being greedy, but I knew what I was worth. And I said this, and they came back and agreed to it. And at the final offer, it was even more than what was agreed.
Yeah. Benefits,
insane.
Crazy. Bonuses.
Insane.
Like, just wild. Just absolutely wild. So, shared all that to encourage, someone, to encourage many of you. We're seeing your comments. We're seeing your prayer needs and things like that. There's so many job situations right now. There's so many financial needs right now. There's been repossession of cars and eviction. Like there's major things happening. We see these patterns. We see these things happening in people's lives, and it's such a blessing and a privilege that God would allow us to walk through these things, to be able to tell a testimony. You don't have a testimony without a test. Mm-hmm. James says, count it all joy when various trials of different kinds come to test you. This is for your endurance. This is for your stamina. This is for your strength. And that's for somebody. The Lord says you need everything in this season. You need your strength in this season. It's been hard. You may have felt depleted, but the Lord says September is about strength. Because it's a birthing. It's a birthing. And as we said before, like, when you think about, I'm not a woman, but through women talking and things like that, sharing their experiences, like that process of birthing, it can be painful, but it is beautiful. This season is about to be beautiful. And many of you have been talking about how the Lord has been saying double portion, double portion. And so don't give up. Don't quit. Don't doubt before God brings to you what has been promised. No one who trusts in the Lord will be put to shame. Yeah. As you've given everything, as you've sacrificed, as you've trusted in the Lord, there's a promise that he will direct your path and he will bring to you and he will restore that which was lost, that was stolen, that was mismanaged, that was held up. And even this is for somebody. Don't stop praying. The Lord has heard your prayer. The Lord hears prayers. Just like Daniel, that like the angel said to him, I heard you the first time you prayed. Mm-hmm. I heard you. God has heard you. Don't stop. God has heard you and you will testify. You will. This miracle, this blessing, these promises that God has for you, he's had for us. We've had to wait because it's so big. Yeah. You got to make sure you're ready to handle that salary that God is bringing. Mm-hmm. You got to be ready to handle that blessing that God is bringing to you and has scheduled for you. September, that scheduled miracle, that scheduled blessing will meet you. Yeah. And so it's the appointed time that God releases things to you. Because he wants to make sure that you can handle it. Yeah. You can manage it. You can expand it. And you can realize that it was only through him. It was only through him that this has happened. This has happened. Yeah, you're getting ready to find favor. Getting ready to find favor. So I'm telling you.
I believe that's what happened too in this situation. I found favor with them. And after four executives interviewed me, four. And at the end of those interviews, I got great feedback from both of them. And at the beginning of one of the interviews, one of the vice presidents said, they thought you were a great fit and we were just really excited to meet you, see what they saw. basically.
Yeah.
And I believe that was God's favor working in my favor, that I had already gained favor, and I didn't even know it. But God knew, and I know he was just so proud of me for just trusting him in that. And yeah.
Absolutely. So we hope this was an encouragement.
Life update.
Life update encouragement. I'm telling you, don't give up. Don't quit. Don't stop praying. If you lost something, or if there's, things that God has taken, you may not understand, it was for a purpose. And God has a greater purpose. God has a testimony. God has a story. And he wants to get the glory from when he brings it back and when he returns it. So don't give up. Keep praying. Keep believing. Mm-hmm. This is a time to seek the heart of God. Yeah. Many are needing clarity and direction and even peace. So seek him and he will give it to you. So thank you all. Divine Destiny, David and Deborah, please, please, please like, share, subscribe, comment on the video. Let's help get this video out. As we always say, in the words of Pastor Philip Mitchell, somebody says this, you're a digital evangelist. So you share it. You're sharing the word.
Be a digital evangelist and press that share button.
Press that share button. Press that comment button. We know you got girls and guys that just need this encouragement. We know many.
Everyone.
We all need this. And so like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned. So much more to come. Mm-hmm. We love you guys. We'll see you on the next one. David and Deborah signing out.